For this review, we've got the Playmates 40th anniversary original sketch Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a lot. These are starting to show up now. They are still pretty difficult to find. And if you find them, you're likely to find them, I guess, at Target right now, if you're lucky enough. I'm sure these will be very well available later. It's just starting to trickle out at retail. So if you haven't found these, I wouldn't like jump on eBay and pay like outrageous prices. Just wait unless you really need to have these immediately. So far they're looking pretty good. The packaging is very NECA-ish, with this square kind of box design instead of having something on like a blister card, which is normally what you see Playmate stuff. Even their, what was it? The Stranger Things line that they did. That was kind of, those were in boxes, but they had kind of like this bevel design, kind of similar to, Marvel Legends. So I it kind of makes me wonder, like, is there some kind of trend? Hasbro was doing this with Star Wars and Marvel Legends too, so there's like some kind of trend with like these manufacturers moving to square boxing. I think I don't understand why. Maybe just like they're trying to liven things up, and one does it, another company jumps on the bandwagon. That could be all it is. So we've got all four turtles. They they're all a little different. Different head sculpts, different weapons, even some of the ways that they are geared up. They come with a diorama, so you can recreate a very specific look, which is this right here, this drawing. So this guy in the corner is the original drawing. Well, one of the original drawings. Um, I know Kevin and Peter kind of went back and forth with drawing these turtles, and at some point they get to this. I don't remember who exactly drew this particular sketch, and it's interesting. There's some text here. Basically says Kevin created a sketch, then Peter created a sketch, and then this sketch came into being. Oh, just now realizing they have this up here. So I think this is Kevin's, that's Peter's, and then I don't know who they attribute to this final four design. So some history there. Elsewhere, on the top, we've got some graphic there. On the side, it's just pretty much a picture of them recreating the original sketch. And the bottom, just regular legal stuff. So that's it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and take them out and let's talk about the figures. All right, so now we have them out of the box. Each of them come with part of a display, although this is not as diorama as I thought it was going to be. This is really the only like level environment piece you get, but we'll go over that in a moment. They all come with a nice cardboard poster. They all come with the same piece of broken mutagen, and it's basically set up so that you can slot this in and stand it up. So if you wanted to like purchase just one of these guys, you've got a little background to display them with, kind of like the Marvel Legends anniversary stuff. So The figures themselves are pretty nifty. They have the kind of articulation that you would normally expect with Playmates. Maybe a little bit more articulation. Yeah, let me take that back. So, for instance, there is a disc hinge in the neck. So, lots of range with the neck. Disc hinge with the shoulder. Disc hinge swivel with the elbow. Their armbands are basically, it's hard to tell if this is a separate sculpt piece or if it's just painted. If it's painted exceptionally well. And I think it's painted because I think I can see some brown on the inside of this uh, elbow guard. The hands have a swivel. They do not do anything else. They don't bend or anything. So no kind of waist, anything. The legs are on a uh, disc. Let me take that back. Yeah, that's a disc hinge. They're very tough. I I can't really tell if they can go out, bend sideways or not. I don't think they can. Yeah, they can't. But because of the angle, I think there's a peg that goes up. So it's like some of the older Playmate stuff. So you do have a hinge. It's at the front of the thigh, and you can swivel it sideways to get a sideways motion. But also because of the sculpt, you're only going to get this to move in one direction anyway. There's no way around that. And then there's disc hinge on the knee, pretty decent articulation. And then the final thing, the feet. This is one thing I'm not too keen about. The feet are hollow. Of all the stuff that they did, all the paint apps and articulation, they're like, they won't mind if we make the feet hollow. Um, that kind of irks me. If we're talking about Transformers, I'd say, you know what, somebody's gonna make a add-on kit for this. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna do that for these turtles. I mean, granted, I don't know that I would display them with their feet pointing up. So there's that, but it's just weird. Like I've never seen that with Playmates anything ever. So it's just weird seeing that. Okay, so each of them come with weapons. Some of them come with some weapons you would not normally imagine. They have a separate, um, we'll call it a belt, sash, whatever. It is glued. It's pegged in and glued into various areas of the shell. So you're not going to take this off at all. For the most part, it looks like the sculpts are all identical, with the exclusion of Leonardo because he has knee pads. That's just the way that drawing was done. He's got the knee pads. Their faces are all a little different. He's got the snarl going this way. Leo's got the snarl going that way. I think Raph and Mike have the same head sculpt. That looks, well, let me take that back. They they almost look identical, but they're mirrored. If you look at their bandanas, they point in different directions. and the bandanas are part of the sculpt. It's all one piece as far as the head goes. So that's interesting. Okay, so we kind of showed off Donatello. He comes with the staff. He's got the least accessories out of all of them. There's the back, so you can see that. These headbands, they don't do anything. They don't like twist or turn. They're not flexible or anything. Raph, he's got a place for his size in the front. And can also hold his size. That's another thing. These weapons are very well painted. They did not skimp on the weapons. I mean, they're not the most elaborate paint ever, but in Playmates, you hardly ever see them paint the weapons. And like Donatello's got wraps painted white with some nice wash and black paint. Um, Raph has got red with gold or brass, whatever that's supposed to be. The gray is plastic. Raph does come with the exception of having a sword sheath, and I guess this is just because he had this in the yeah, he's got it in the drawing, and he's got a little hole in the back, and you can just looks like it should go this way. Do like that. That makes sense because gravity would be holding that string like that. And he's got a sword. Michelangelo. So he's got this extra piece. So he's going to be the one standing up in the back. And this is, again, nicely painted. Um, this is two separate pieces, and it seems like this is glued in. This is like a tab, but it's also glued. The box is a different color than the board on the top. The board's got wraps. There's nice wash on the board, the wraps, the box. I mean, it just kind of went all out the way with that. He's got nunchucks with actual metal chains. That's something that you hardly ever see in the Playmates. He can. Oh, his hands are a little tight. But he can hold them pretty well. And he can also store them. This should be chain up or chain down. But let's say they're chain up. But you can snap them onto these little wrist guards he's got. And then whoops, he can do that. And then on his display, those circles are different sizes. So basically, it's kind of like pre-keyed for you. So there's only one way this is going to go on there. You can sit them up there. I don't think I showed off the back side very long. I mean, these shells are identical. They're all the same color too. There is some variation in where they're putting these little hatch marks on the figure. And then I guess technically, because these peg into different places, the shells are different because there's something where this is pegging into the back of the shell here. I think it's the same thing for Donatello. And we're going to look at Leonardo now. It might be a peg in the same place. So his piece has a sewer cover manhole. He has two swords. And he's got two sheaths. And put his sword in there. It is a little tight getting in. More so, it feels like there's like a catch, and you once you push past, ugh, once you push past the tight area, it's fine. Also, the blades are, I don't think the blades are painted, so you shouldn't have to worry about like paint rub and all that stuff. Okay, so those are the figures. We'll put the diorama together in a moment, but I wanted to do some comparisons real quick. Um, these are about 20-ish dollars. The the first line they did of Mirage turtles for Playmates were these guys, and they're nice, but they have the kind of standard articulation that Playmates has, where you got disc hinge, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, and that's it. Um, no wrist swivel. The feet definitely don't bend. These are definitely not pinless. The looks are pretty close, but they're not quite where like issue one or issue two or even issue three turtles should look. Um, but these are nice. They had some interesting things like the simulated cross hatching that's kind of sculpted into the sculpt. So these were pretty nifty for their time. uh, I don't think these really scale properly. Like, I don't think these go with these guys. They just don't. They don't feel the same. I feel like somebody completely different did them. Like a different company did them. Now let's look at um, the more recent Stranger Things, and he's too big, but he is in closer proximity, I think, to what to how these look. Although there's no kind of cross hatching or stuff like that going on. There's definitely more articulation in these guys. Definitely, there's ankle articulation. There's better articulation in the hands. The neck is not designed the same way, but the neck has a ball joint. So even this doesn't fit. Like this, I think this fits closer, but it doesn't fit either. Okay, and just to go one step further, this is not a good comparison, but here's a NECA original turtle, and there's a lot going on with this. This is You really can't compare him to any of this other stuff, but from a size point of view, these guys kind of seem like they exist in the same plane. So something to think about. Now, my first question is, okay, they did all this for the 40th anniversary. Is there more Playmates 40th anniversary stuff coming? If there is, I'd be excited to see what they're gonna do. I do not like these hollow feet, but everything else about this setup is nice. Is perfect. Okay, so let's figure out how this goes together. As I say that, I am looking at this card in the back. So we can see that Michelangelo goes in the back. Hence why he has this piece, because he's the one who's standing up. There are little tabs, so it's pretty straightforward. And something interesting, like, so this is like a front and an end piece, but there's a place right here to add something else. So I don't know if that means anything or if it's just coincidence. I don't know. Okay, so Leo, you know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. That's why it looks like this. Okay, so forget what I just said. This needs to turn this way. So you got a rough edge here and a rough edge here. Yep, and it even fits in better. So you do that. And then Leo's this front piece. So we're going to put him here. Sorry. He goes here. I think I need to slide all this over. And then Raph's piece goes here. And there they go. And now you have the diorama. So you could set this up and walk away from it and never touch this again, and it looks amazing. Or you can put it somewhere and then pick these guys up and play with them and put them back. So uh, just kudos to Playmates for doing this. This is kind of like definitely out of the box type thinking with coming up with something nice like this. And selling them separate means that, hey, if you're a Leo fan and you don't care about these other guys, you can just get Leo and you'll get a cool little backdrop. Or maybe you want a couple of them. And if you want all of them, go get all four and you can recreate this whole thing. So super cool. Highly recommended. And I think that's it. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm very interested to see what other people who are into Ninja Turtles thinks about this set. And as always, tune into more videos coming up, and thank you.